folks, it's Jimmy Stewart here, hoping this is finding you all doing well. In today's video, we're going to do some discussion about a guitar that is close to my heart and should be close to yours as well. Now, as most of you know, I'm a sucker for offsets. I love offset guitars, all of them. And one of the kings of the offset is, of course, the Jazzmaster. And in my opinion, any guitarist really should have a Jazzmaster in their arsenal. At least one, maybe two. At least one. So on my quest to get a Jazzmaster, now I thought to myself, do I really have a couple of grand that I want to spend on a Fender Jazzmaster? Well, you know, if you're like me, you didn't want to take that $2,000 or $3,000 and put it into a Fender Jazzmaster, top of the line custom shop. You know, didn't want one really that bad, so I was on my quest to find an affordable Jazzmaster that I thought might do the job. Now, I searched around for quite a while, and one of the first things I found was a company called Monoprice. Now, as you know, if you've been following the station, I own quite a few Monoprice guitars now, and I think they're great for the price point. I really do. They've been knocking it out of the park. And I found the OS40. Now, the OS40 on Monoprice is their Jazzmaster style guitar, and I have one right here. But when I tried to get that guitar almost a year and a half, 2 years ago, it just couldn't be done. They were out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. They were out of stock. So I contacted Monoprice, and I put in that little request on their page there to notify me when and if they ever do come back in stock. So I waited probably a year, and then I finally, because they never did notify me and they never came back in stock, I finally decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out, and I took a lot of looks at the Squier series. Now, if you've seen that video and if you followed my channel, you'll notice that I named that video, I thought I would never buy one of these. And I wasn't going to, but I finally caved in because I really wanted a Jazzmaster. So I bought the Squier CV series, the 60s Classic Vibe series Jazzmaster, and that is right here. Now, when I bought that guitar, it came in, and I was actually very surprised of how nice it really was. It needed setup work, and that's because I play lighter gauge strings. I didn't want that that heavy gauge on there, and I did a lot of things to get it to set the way I wanted it to set, and I ended up shimming the neck and a couple of other things on that Jazzmaster, but it's the way I want it now. And so I did that video, the opening video, of course, and I did the setup video on the Jazzmaster, and that was the first one I was able to get my hands on for a reasonable price. The Jazzmasters today are going for about $449. When I looked yesterday on Sweetwater, they had the Olympic White for $449. Musician's Friend had, I think it was the pink and the Daffy and Blue maybe. They had those on sale for $399.99. So that's a good price. But again, they're on the upper end of a budget guitar for, in my opinion anyway. $500 and down, in my opinion, is a budget guitar. But $500 is at that top end of a budget guitar, because you can get a lot of great guitars for $200, $300, and even less. So that was the first one I got. So I ended up picking that up just over a year or so ago now. And then finally, this past fall of 2021, I get a notification from Monoprice that the OS40 is in. Now, this is the OS40. This is the Deluxe Plus. The Deluxe Plus, and the difference between a Plus and the Deluxe is that the Plus has an alder body. Okay? But that's about the only difference that I know. Now, these are retailing for right around $200. So $200, $450. So there is a fairly large difference in price between the two, and there really is a reason for that, and we'll get into those reasons as we move along. But these were the two budget Jazzmasters I was able to pick up that I've been very happy with, to be honest with you. The work that had to be done as far as setup on the Monoprice was fairly minimal, and this was more involved. But again, I kind of knew that going into the classic vibe, the 60s. The way they are designed is not exactly the way that I play, so I did want to get it playable for how I wanted to be able to use the guitar. So it got a little involved. And this came in set up fairly well. Now, we will go through the differences of both these guitars, and then we'll do some sound checks, okay? We'll go through the differences between the Alnico Fender design proprietary Jazzmaster pickups and the fact that this has the rhythm circuit compared to the Soap Bar P90s without the rhythm circuit here on the OS40. So that's part of some of the differences in the pricing that you'll see here. And then we'll go through the specs of both guitars. I'll do an up-close video along with the specs. We'll weigh them in, and then we'll do some sound checks, okay? So let's get to it, folks. Now here's the up-close and personal on the Monoprice OS40 Deluxe Plus. And again, the difference in the Plus between the regular Deluxe and the Plus is the alder body. So this is an alder body, of course, in gloss, and this is the natural. You've got a tortoise pickguard on this as well. They're both 3-ply pickguards on both guitars. This has got a set of Soap Bar P90s in cream color with your 3-way switch and your single volume and tone. Also the same type of floating bridge and floating vibrato system that's on this. The bridge is a little bit different. This has got more of this Jazzmaster style bridge than the actual Jazzmaster from Squier does, because they kind of went with a Mustang bridge on that. Again, this is an alder body. As you can see, there's no rhythm circuit on here, so you forego the rhythm circuit on this particular guitar from Monoprice. And this has got 2.3 millimeter tall, slim frets. This is a 22 fret versus the 21 on the Squier. The body shape is just about identical. As you can see, it's a Jazzmaster body. This has got a rosewood fretboard with a maple neck. Both necks are gloss necks on the back. This has got an ABS nut, a synthetic bone nut, and again it's 42 millimeter up there. The scale on this, however, is 25.5, just like it is on the Squier, but the fretboard radius on this is a 350 millimeter, so that works out right around at the 14 rate, whereas it's a 9.5 on the Jazzmaster. This is flatter, so you get a flatter radius with a 14. You got your typical hook Indio headstock. Again, some people don't like it. It doesn't bother me. This has got 2 string trees. So that is different than the Squier. And it's the same vibrato system, the floating vibrato. And those vibrato bars just push down in. Let me turn this around. You can take a look at the back of this one. Again, it's a 4-screw bolt-on. This has also got the maple neck, but no skunk stripe. Decent tuners on this. There's decent tuners on all the Monoprices. I find that they're fine. And you can see this has got the same kind of cutaways that we have on the Squier Jazzmaster. And this is an alder body, 22 frets, 25.5 scale, bolt-on neck. Both neck profiles are your modern C neck profiles. This is a rosewood fretboard versus the Indian laurel fretboard that is on the Squier. 3-ply tortoise pickguard. So what the biggest main difference between these two guitars is that you do not have the rhythm circuit on the Monoprice, and you do not have the Alnico proprietary Fender Jazzmaster pickups on this, you have a set of ceramic soap bar P90s. And the ceramics, this has got a 7.8K in the neck and a 9.2K in the bridge. Again, the bridge is a little bit different. Everything else is pretty much the same. This comes in at about 7.5 pounds, so it's slightly heavier, which you would figure with an alder body and a poplar body on the Squier. So there they are. This is the Monoprice OS40 Deluxe Plus in the natural alder body version. So here's the up close and personal on the Squier Classic Vibe Series Jazzmaster. This is the Classic Vibe 60s Jazzmaster, and as you can see, this is an Olympic white. And we'll go through the specs on this. This has got the double cutaway. Obviously, this is the offset Jazzmaster. It is a solid body, of course, and this is a poplar wood body with the tortoise pickguard there, your single volume and tone controls. These are Fender's own Alnico single coils. They're not a P90, they're a Jazzmaster style pickup designed by Fender, and you can see you got a three-way switch over here that operates those two pickups with a single volume and tone, and then you've got your switching over here, and that's your rhythm circuit. So when you switch it towards the up of the guitar, when you switch it up this way, this then becomes your rhythm circuit. This is the neck pickup only and your volume and tone on that pickup. When it's down this way, then it goes back to your three-way switch, and you have your neck and your bridge and a combination of the two. Now this has got your almost Mustang style bridge with your vintage vibrato, and that's of course your tremolo down there. That's your floating vibrato and bridge. This has got a C-shaped neck. Of course, it's maple and it's bolt-on, and this has got an Indian laurel fretboard. The radius on this is 9.5 with a 42 millimeter bone nut up there. You've got your aged headstock with vintage tuners. You can see we have a single string tree there for the A and B. I will turn the guitar around for you to get a closer look at the back. And you can see the Jaguar body, the scoops, and how that is scooped out. You get your Squier 4-bolt neck plate there with a skunk striped solid maple neck. It is a gloss neck. And again, your vintage tuners that they have up there. This guitar comes in at just over 7 pounds. I'll show you the weights on an up-close shot on the scale. It's just over 7 pounds, about 7 pounds 4 ounces. This is a 21 fret with narrow, tall, vintage style frets. It is a 25/5 scale, your standard Fender scale. So there it is, up close and personal on the Squier CV, the Classic Vibe 60 series Jazzmaster. Again, what stands this out is this does have the Jazzmaster circuit over there on the upper bout and the Jazzmaster style pickups. Okay, so now that you've got these specs and the up-close video of both guitars, kind of describing the differences between the two. Let's take a look at the Monoprice OS40 and do a couple of tone checks with it, okay? So I'm going to run a clean patch with just a little bit of reverb through the Monoprice 15 watt and the Celestion external speaker over there. Now again, this has got a three-way switch down here with a single volume and tone. There is no rhythm circuit up here like there is on the Squier Classic Vibe. I'm in the middle position right now with just a little bit of the volume rolled off. And the thing that's cool about a Jazzmaster, if you haven't played one, is that you get the overtones and the vibration from the strings back behind the bridge, and that's what's cool about a Jazzmaster, in my opinion. You can feel it on your hand. So that's in the middle. Let's go up to the neck. Volume up. Rolling it to about 6. Rolled off to about 6. Let's bring the tone back up. Let's go down to the neck. Getting that Jazzmaster spank in there, it's cool. Just a very cool sounding guitar. The fretboard on this, like I explained, is a 14 radius, so it is flatter than the Jazzmaster. And if you like that, and I've pretty much gotten used to the 14 radius because a lot of the Asian guitars come that way, that flatter fretboard actually gives my fingers, my big mitts, a little bit more room to get in there. Nothing wrong with a 9.5 radius either. It's just that once you get used to something, sometimes going to a 9.5 or going from a 9.5 to a 14, you'll feel it. But I don't have any issues between changing between guitars. It doesn't bother me. Again, it just, you'll notice the difference. And this neck actually has a rolled, the fingerboard edges of this are slightly rolled. It makes it feel very, very nice. They are gloss necks on these, but it's not sticky at all. So I really do like the neck on this. Alright, let's take a look at the Jazzmaster, the Squier. So on the Squier here, now we've gone to a 9.5 radius. This is a Indian Laurel fretboard versus the Rosewood on the OS40. And the neck feels thinner in your hand because it is actually more rounded. They do both have a C-shaped neck, but the fretboard feels much smaller, in my hand anyway. The rhythm circuit. Bring the tone up. Down to the middle. Bridge. Spank, neck, rhythm circuit. Now this also has not quite the same roll that the OS40 has, but it's close. And the neck on this feels very good as well. Again, it's the difference between a 9.5 and a 14. And when you go down, you go back to this circuit. Pretty cool. Anyway, so there's some tone checks with both Jazzmasters. So the differences in guitars, price-wise, is about $200, $250. So, $400 to $450 depending on where you buy it and the kind of deal that you can get, and around $200 for the OS40. So, is the difference that much? Well, if you want these pickups, and I wanted the proprietary El Nicos that Fender makes, the Jazzmaster pickups. They're not really P90s. They're more, they're Jazzmaster proprietary type of pickup, and they sound great. And I did want the rhythm circuit on this guitar. But other than that, the differences are fairly minimal. Again, the neck is different in that this is a 9.5 and this is a 14. Sometimes I enjoy playing this neck a little bit more. I guess maybe because I'm used to the Asian style necks with a lot of the inexpensive guitars that I've picked up in the last couple of years. So I'm used to that radius. When you drop back to a 9.5, you kind of, you adjust to it, but it's a little bit different. It feels a lot smaller in your hand. They're really not, but the neck feels tighter. So both really, really nice guitars. If you're in the market for a inexpensive Jazzmaster, I think either one would do the trick. Now, if you really want to go and get the more of the classic vibe or more of that classic Jazzmaster sound, you really need to go to the Squier, because I don't think there's anything else out there that kind of gives you the same thing. If you're not real concerned with the Jazzmaster pickups themselves and or having that rhythm circuit, then the OS40 is a perfectly good substitute. It comes close. It has that spank and that jangle that you want. It does have the same style bridge and the same style vibrato tremolo, three-way switch, and it's a very, very nice guitar. Again, it weighs just a little bit more than the Jazzmaster does because of the alder body. But other than that, it's got a very nice neck on it. The tuning keys are different, obviously, on both of these. This has got the vintage tuners, the slotted tuners. But both really, really cool guitars, and both, budget-priced Jazzmasters where you don't have to go out and spend that ton of money picking up the Jazzmaster. If you can't afford it, or if you're just looking to add a Jazzmaster to your arsenal and you don't want to spend you don't want to take out a second mortgage for one, these do a quite a good job. So I thought I'd just give you a little comparison between the Squier Classic Vibe Jazzmaster, the 60s Classic Vibe Jazzmaster, and about the only thing I could find in that inexpensive Jazzmaster vibe would be this particular one, the one from Monoprice, the Monoprice OS40 Deluxe. Now, I have another Jazzmaster over there, but that's a whole different ball game. That's the Slick 56. If you have not checked out the review on that, please check it out. I'll leave a link for you. But that's a really, really cool guitar as well. But that's a semi-hollow, or kind of a chambered guitar, and it's set up quite differently in that it's got the single coil down there in the bottom along with the P90 on top, which makes it kind of unique. Just a cool guitar there as well. But for today's video, we're going to end it for today. I appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much for stopping in. To all the subscribers, thank you very, very much for subscribing. I do appreciate it. You know that. The whole channel is about you, so thank you so much. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, however, and you're new to the channel, come on over to the good side. We'd really love to have you on board. So until next time, folks, it's Jimmy Stewart saying so long. Take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. And we'll talk to you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now. Outro. Yeah, give him an outro. Here's an outro. Talk to you soon, folks.